Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl D Down Elizabeth, and if you are a regular to my channel, clearly you came back and messed with your girl. So y'all know I'm coming back with some more information, some more details, a lots of tips, and a lot of advice for you to become a better version of yourself each and every day. So in this video, I want to give you guys 5 tips on how to start your weight loss journey. So I know I did one of these videos a while back, and one thing that I noticed about myself is that I go through many phases throughout my journey. I have been on my journey for 2.5 years now, 2.5 years in counting. So I definitely have been going through different phases of ups and downs, highs and lows. But most importantly, I'm still here and I'm still sticking to it, which is what matters, you guys. So always keep that in mind. Every day will not be perfect. Every day will not be always great. You won't have energy every single day. But as long as you stay on track, as long as you keep going, you will never be a failure. So when you think about weight loss, it always seems easier said than done. Let's just get that out there. It always seems easier said than done. Like you can always see a transformation picture like this and say, okay, I'm going to go work out for a week and I'm going to eat right for a week. And then sometimes in your head, you want to see those results, especially because after a week of not working out for a long period of time, after that first week, you may be tired. Matter of fact, you probably are 95% going to be tired just because your body is not used to doing that. And that's a part of being on the journey, learning that your body is not used to a certain thing and mentally preparing yourself to change into healthier habits, change to a better lifestyle, but knowing that it does not happen overnight. So let's just say a couple things that I need you guys to know before starting your weight loss journey. Number 1, the weight did not come overnight, so it won't leave overnight. Just because you eat healthy does not mean that you will lose weight. Consistency is the key. Whatever you start with, stick with. No matter how many times you fail, just never give up. And let's just put that out there, okay? So here we are with tip number 1. My first tip that I think is very important is to be able to mentally change your mind and make the commitment. And most people always think they should start with like, oh, maybe I need to go buy all of this. Maybe I need to go buy groceries, or I need to go buy detox teas. Or I need to go buy this. And you want to like overspend on things that's so materialistic when it comes to weight loss. One thing that I noticed is when I got ready to start my weight loss journey, I knew that I had to sit down and mentally prepare myself. After I got bit by the snake, I told myself once I healed all the way, I was going to be ready to start my journey. And that snake bite is another story for another day. Once I sat down, it took me about maybe 6 months because I got bit by the snake in April, and then I didn't start my weight loss journey until January. So that whole time, I didn't rush the process. I took time to actually sit down and think about what I wanted to do with my life and what I wanted to do with my body. And once I made up my mind that I was going to start my weight loss journey, and I had it in my head that when I start, no matter what the outcome is, I'm going to become more active, I'm going to become more physically fit, and I'm going to become mentally stronger. And that was my overall goal. My overall goal was never to lose 100 plus pounds, but me just sticking to the basics just got me there. When I first started, I never tried to over obsess over results. I never tried to over obsess over my body. I just wanted to stick to the routine, create a healthier habit. And I noticed one thing about myself, I was never afraid to be uncomfortable. So when you are thinking about starting a weight loss journey, that's one thing that you have to realize, that this will be uncomfortable. It will be very uncomfortable because it's things that you will be doing that you're not used to doing. So when I say mentally change your mind, it's mentally preparing yourself for that change, mentally preparing yourself to be uncomfortable in order to see yourself thrive and go further places that you never imagined. Because I always say this, and I seen this quote a while back: your body won't go where your mind won't allow it. So if you are mentally not in this new body that you envision for yourself, then you won't physically be there. there. You have to be mentally into it. You have to be willing to make that commitment to know that every day will not be a up. There will be downs. There will be days where you don't want to work out. There will be days where you overindulge into pizza and everything that you feel like you can't eat. But as long as you stay on track, as long as you stick to it, you don't fall off. You maybe go a little bit far to the left or a little bit far to the right, but the track, you just stay on it. You still on the track regardless. Tip number 2 is to be patient. I kind of talked about this in the first tip, which I think being patient is literally so important. Being patient with yourself, being patient with your eating choices, being patient with your activity. You literally have to be patient. So a lot of people, when they start their weight loss journey, they want to just do everything. They want to do it all. They want to weight lift, or they maybe want to do cardio, or they want to do this, or they want to do that, and they want to start running a mile tomorrow. One thing that I had to realize with myself is done. You are 311 pounds. Something you used to do when you was younger, you can't do it no more, baby, okay? And I'm still young now, but I knew that at that point in my life, I was not ready to go there. I was not ready to go there, so I always started off really, really simple. You have to go over extreme when it comes to exercise. You don't have to go over extreme when it comes to eating habits. You just have to find something that works, stick to it, something that's realistic, and something that you can stick to long term, okay? I was on my journey for a long time. Well, I said 2.5 years. I've been on my journey for a long time, and I have had ups and downs with my journey, with my weight gain, with my weight loss. It has been a little bit all over the place. And at times in the beginning, I would literally cry, be emotional, and wonder why I was so emotional when I thought that I was doing something that was so great for myself. And then when I realized it's because I had to be patient with the change that was happening in my life. Things started to change over time, but I'm like, okay, done, relax. This is a part of the process. You cannot rush the process. It took me about 3 months before I actually physically, with my own eyes, started to see physical results. Started to look in the mirror and be like, okay, I see it. But for that first 3 months, I literally had to be in tune with my routine, in tune with tracking my calories, in tune with showing up to my workouts, doing what I know that I was supposed to do, doing what made me feel good. Don't rush the process, and being patient with yourself and your abilities to move and exercise. Simply be patient. If you stick to the routine, the results will come. It literally is no way around it. Number 3. So, if you're a person that wants to strategically lose weight and lose fat, to me, losing fat is more important than lose weight, because F that skill. But anyways, to me, if you are a person that wants to strategically lose fat and lose weight, I would suggest figuring out your caloric deficit. So one thing simple is, if you figured out your caloric deficit and you are not losing weight, then you are not in a caloric deficit. Simple. And one thing I see a lot of people do is they try to literally eat nothing. They try to skip out on meals. They try to make everything really, really small. And the key is, you want your body to be able to adapt to these things long term, because this number should be flexible to be able to go up and to be able to go down, because you don't want your body to adapt to it, and that's when a plateau happens. Enough people come ask me, how do I figure out my caloric deficit? First, I have a nutrition plan that can give you an estimate of around the number that you should be eating. But if you can help me out even more, if you know your body fat percentage, you know how many days a week you work out, and if you roughly log your calories for about a week to see about how many calories on average you are eating each day. And that will help us put you at a caloric deficit that's enough for you to maintain, to where you don't feel like you're starving all the time, and enough to where you can still strategically be losing weight and losing fat at the same time. And so the thing about figuring out your caloric deficit is, as long as you have that calorie amount in your macros, very important to hit your protein goal. Macros are just important, but when I first started, I literally only focused on fitting in my caloric deficit. And then over time, I started to pay more attention to my macros, hitting my protein goal, hitting my fat, staying within my carbs. But when I first started out, that goes back to being patient. I had to be patient with this transition. Nobody is used to logging their meals every single day, all day. That's not normal. To me, it wasn't normal when I first started, but I made it my normal, and I made it my reality, and I'm still living in it today. And so when I first started, I just started to log into my caloric deficit. So what that means is, Literally, this was my mindset. You can have whatever you want as long as you stay within that number. So if I give you a caloric deficit and the safe interest is 2,300 calories. If you want to go eat McDonald's, you could go eat McDonald's. If you want to go eat Popeyes, you could go eat Popeyes. Of course, those food choices not very nutrient dense for you to stay satisfied for a long time, but it's a part of just starting off, figuring out how to log things and figuring out, like, noticing how many calories are in the foods that we eat on a daily. And it's most important just becoming aware of your intake. Like, you literally overlook all those big calorie amounts, and it's not to just get like, oh, okay, I can't have that, but it's a way to know that, okay, I gotta fit this in so I can have this in moderation. I can have this. Oh, I want a big dessert. Let's just log it on in and have it there. Okay, simple, right? Number 4, do not be restrictive. And I say this very, very hard. Do not be restrictive. Let me tell y'all a little story. So last year, in I want to say at least April or May, maybe April or May, it could have been any one of those months, I did a 30-day challenge. And so remind you, like, throughout my whole journey, I've been doing a caloric deficit, eating what I want to eat in moderation, prioritizing healthier, nutrient-dense foods just so I can be more satisfied throughout the day, getting in my fruits and vegetables, and 80-20. 80% of the time I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and 20% of the time I'm doing what I do. Okay? No judgment zone. But I did a 30-day challenge and I lost 10 pounds. So with this 30-day challenge, I didn't eat no sweets, no alcohol, no chips, no cookies, no white bread, no sodas. Literally everything that we love and that was in our daily habits before we decided we wanted to go into a healthier lifestyle, I could not eat. Well, I could, but I decided to put myself on it. And it was a way for me to test my self-discipline, which I did a great job. But after that challenge, your girl gave 10 plus more pounds back. And I realized that that type of lifestyle is not for me. So that's one thing that we have to realize, that some people could do one thing and then some people could do another. Find what works for you and stick with it. For me, I can't say at one point I was loving Diet Coke. I told myself I'm not going to just try to stop Diet Coke. I'm going to stop it one day at a time. And then eventually I stopped drinking it. Like right now I've been off of it. But I've really been feeling like I want one this weekend. But we're not going to talk about that right now. But it's really important that, like, if you a person that could be super restrictive and get where you want to be and love the life that you live, like, don't try to go for something because you want to be small like tomorrow that is so restrictive and it makes you miserable. That's not the thing, because I always try to get people in the habit of thinking long term, thinking like a healthier lifestyle long term. Like, you want to find something that when you get to where you want to be, you can maintain it, you can stick with it, and it still be, a way for you to enjoy life. You're still able to go out for a girls' night, have a couple of drinks. You're still able to go to the family barbecue and eat a couple of ribs and not feel like you just messed up your whole journey. So this is my advice, I tend to not be restrictive with myself because it only leaves me miserable sometimes. It always kind of leaves me guilty when I eat something bad. And I don't want to have a bad relationship with food. So I try to keep everything that I love in moderation and prioritizing healthier foods. And just trying to stick to it, baby. It's balance. I might hit that cheesecake on the weekend. And then Monday through Friday, I might throw a little cookie in. Maybe a little ice cream. Y'all know me. I eat dessert almost every day. But I'm doing what works for me. It might not be the healthiest thing for me. But I know that each and every day, I'm working towards being a better version of myself. So in the long term, in the long run, I may not even be eating dessert every day. But we're going to get there when we get there. Which brings me to the last tip that is very important. I want you to open your ears and listen closely. There's 1,000 different ways to lose weight. And who's to say that one way works better than the other? Because everyone is different. Everyone's body is different. And what works for one person may not work for the next. But one thing that I do know, that this tip number 5 is very important, and it is to stay consistent. You literally can have the body that you want. You literally can live the lifestyle that you want. You can have the financial stability that you want as long as you stay consistent. And that's why I always say that, like, living a healthier lifestyle and being on a weight loss journey connects to so many different aspects of life, your business, your family, just everything, because consistency is key. Consistency sets you apart from everybody else in whatever industry that you're in. And one thing I notice about myself is consistency does not mean walking in a straight line all the time. Consistency is making sure that It might be days where you fall off, but you don't quit. You don't give up. The moment you give up, that's when you become a failure. But the moment you recognize that, okay, maybe I fell off. Okay, let me get back on track. Okay, done. You tripping. Get it together. Let's bring it back. And once you bring it back, you on the right track. Like, don't get caught up in your head that you have to do every single thing right. And I say this a lot in my videos because no one is perfect. We are not perfect. And when you are trying to lose weight and live a healthier lifestyle that was never presented to you throughout your life, it is very hard. It's mentally hard. It's literally all in your head. The physical is so easy. But as long as you mentally change your mind, make that commitment, and stay consistent, you literally will not fail. And gaining a couple of pounds over the weekend is not considered failing. But once you say, okay, man, if this, I gained this weight, I'm going to just give up. That's when you fail. But once you realize that over the weekend you gained that 5 pounds, and then come Monday, you literally back on track, tracking your calories, or however your method of losing weight, you literally back on track, that's when you know that you're freaking killing it. And I know I said a lot just to say that you are capable of many things. You are stronger than you think. And that's one thing that I teach my clients. Like, you're literally stronger than you think. Like, it's all in your head. You're stronger than you think, and you are capable of literally anything that you put your mind to. So with that being said, I hope this video was helpful. I hope you guys are ready to start your weight loss journey, are ready to become a healthier version of yourself. And remember, be in it for the long haul. This is a lifestyle change. This is a healthy lifestyle journey. And I promise, if you take these small steps, take these small tips into consideration, you literally won't regret it. Don't overthink it because it's already hard on the mental. Don't make it harder for yourself because it's hard, okay? Don't make it harder for yourself and just stick with it. And with that being said, y'all know the drill. Come back and mess with your girl. Peace out.